Khan.
That's recording too?
No, cut the light off.
All praises to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushua.
Khan.
Just gotta say one thing. Gotta clap it up for the Most High, man. The second week. All praises, man. All praises. Shalom. Shalom. All right, Khan.
Right. Shalom, Israel, man. First and foremost, all praises to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushua. Double honors to the elders of the house of David. Shalom to the brothers out there laboring on the highways and byways, fulfilling their office within the ministry, man. And shalom to the Akwaf out there, married and unmarried, out there holding down the households, being a virtuous woman. And another shalom to the children out there honoring their parents, man. All praises to Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushua. Right, another Sabbath service through the spirit and power of the Lord, man. Right, again, clap it up for the Most High, man. Right.
As you can see, today's lesson, we're doing an in-depth breakdown on the dietary law. In-depth breakdown on the dietary law.
That's right.
All right. So, I want to start off with this quick precept. Get us Sirach 30 and verse 15. Sirach 30 and verse 15. Because it's very imperative that, we understand the dietary law as kings and princesses walking the earth. You can't just eat anything. All right, bring it up.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 15. Judge of thy neighbor by thyself and be...
It's like Sirach 30 and 25.
Bring it out.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 25. And it reads, shew not thy valiantness in wine.
You want shot? Is that 31 or 30?
That's 31.
Yeah, 30, yeah. It's like so it's 30 and 15. Yeah, that was 31. All right, 30 and 15.
The book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 15.
Right.
Health and the good estate of body are above all gold.
You see that? So that good health, man. Because if you eating bad things, then that bad health is going to fall upon you, man. Right?
Give me Proverbs chapter 13, verse 14. Right? Like the brother bringing it out, man. Right? We got to watch what we consume in this truth, man. Right? As the Israelites, we cannot eat abominable foods, man. What's abominable? We're going to read about it in Leviticus, the 11th chapter. And also in Deuteronomy, the 14th chapter. The damn crab, the shrimp, the lobster, all the crustaceans of the sea, the bottom feeders. We got to abstain from these things as the Israelites, man. Because we kings and priests unto the Lord, man. You never seen a king eating a damn crab or a shrimp or a damn anchovy, man. Right? We got to abstain from these things according to the Bible. Bring it out, King. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 14.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 14.
Bring it out.
The law of the wise is a foundation of life.
Right, so these laws in the Bible is the foundation of life, man. Right, it's the fountain of life. These are the living waters that we must drink of as the Hebrew Israelites, as it states in John chapter 7 and verse 37. Right, read on.
To depart from the snares of life.
Nah, read that again.
The law of the wise is a foundation of life.
Read on.
To depart from the snares of death.
To depart from the snares of death, man. So we seeking to depart from the snares of death. And when we eating these unclean foods, it's going to bring about death and destruction, man. Damn high cholesterol, diabetes, damn gout, damn all these damn sicknesses that the Lord bring upon us as a judgment for eating these things. So we got to abstain from these things, and we got to start upholding the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Right? You got it.
Get Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 13.
Bring it out.
That's it. It's like it 12. 1 and 12. Wisdom of Solomon. I got one more after that.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 12. Seek ye not death in the error of your life, and pull not upon yourselves destruction with the works of your hand.
That's right. So, obviously, one way to, kill yourself is by either gun, sword, knife, medicine, overdosing, right? Things of that nature. But you can also kill yourself by eating unclean animals. And as you can see clearly, the topic of this lesson is in-depth dietary breakdown, right? So there are certain beasts on this land that you can kill yourself by eating, right? You can kill yourself by eating too much pork. You can kill yourself by eating too much shrimp, right? Or eating it at all for that matter, right? So when Jay consume these things, you hate yourself. You're killing yourself, right? You're destroying your temple. You can bring out Proverbs 11 and 17.
One more.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 17.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 11 and verse 17. The merciful man doeth good to his own soul, but he that is cruel troubleth his own self.
Right. So you a cruel, wicked man if you trouble your own self in your flesh, man. And that's why, we got hella stories, brothers. We sure brothers, on the other side got stories of people that eat or consume pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, crustaceans, frogs. They jam themselves up, right? They start having belly pains, choler, all that inconvenient stuff, stuff,
That's right.
But it's like it. So you got to be good to your soul,
Got one more precept. 2 Kings 4 and 40. Right, 2 Kings chapter 4 and verse 40.
It's the book of 2 Kings, chapter 4 and verse 40. And it reads, so they poured out for the men to eat, and it came to pass, as they were eating of the pottage, that they cried out and said, O thou man of God, there is death in the pot.
There's what?
There's death in the pot.
Right, so they looked at this abomination and said, that's death in the pot, man. So we got to understand, what is death in the pot? Right, we finna figure out the things that you would look at and say that's death in the pot. Because, hey, man, you might see certain things, your mouth might water, but, hey, that's death, man. Right? So you got to kind of abstain from these wicked abominations, according to the Lord.
Bring out 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. Right, then we're going to dive into the dietary law to get the proper understanding. Bring it out, King. Right, 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. Right, because as an Israelite, when you come into this truth, you're a new creature, man. You should not be doing the same things that you did in the world. Right, you got to reform yourself and change the way you think and live in this truth, man. Right, we might have ate pork, crab, shrimp, lobster in the world, but when you come into this truth, you got to abstain from all that, man. It's a process. This is a lifestyle that you got to live. It's not a fad. This is not religion. This is not something to be a part of. No, this is you keeping the law, statutes, and commandments so you can receive salvation in the day of the Lord. Bring it out, King.
It's the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 5.
Trumpet voice.
It's the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 5. So, what was that verse?
2 Corinthians chapter. Bring it out.
It's the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 5, and verse 17.
Right.
Therefore, if any man be in Hamashiach.
Right, and we're in Hamashiach right now. Right, if you sitting down, if you scribing, if you listening to this lesson, most likely you're in Hamashiach Yahushua. Meaning you walking in the ways of the Lord to the best of your ability, keeping these commandments, right, magnifying the Lord and magnifying this ministry. Read on.
He is a new creature.
He is a what?
He is a new creature.
So we're all new creatures in Hamashiach Yahushua. Meaning you're not the same vessel that you was in the world, man. In the world, you was a nigga, right? You had your pants sagging. You was toting guns. You had blunts in your mouth, right? You was damn eating crawfish bowls, man. You had damn pork lined up, man, right? Read on.
Things are passed away. Old things are passed away.
It say old things are passed away. So if you in this truth, you should still, it's like you shouldn't be eating unclean foods, man. That's passed away. You got to leave that in the world. Read on.
Behold, all things are become new.
Behold, all things are become new, man. Right? So we are new creatures, brothers. Right? You got to change the way you damn dress, man. You got to put on fringes in this truth, as it states in Numbers chapter 15, verse 37. Right? You got to grow a beard out, as it states in Leviticus chapter 21, verse 5. You got to honor the Sabbath day, as it states in Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. So these are all the law, statutes, and commandments that we have to abide by as new creatures in Hamashiach Yahushua. Khan? That's right. Leviticus 11.
Leviticus 11 and 1. You pull up the PowerPoint. Can you see how many slides it is? Like 20? Yeah, that's the right one. I'm praised. Leviticus 11 and verse 1. Bring it out.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, and verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel.
Do what?
Speak unto the children of Israel.
Right. So again, this is the law, statutes, and commandments for Israel. Right. Only Israel. He's speaking to you, man. You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right. Right.
Saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
So it's about to describe out of all the beasts that's walking the earth, what you can eat. Right.
What you shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth, whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven-footed.
Right, parteth the hoof and is cloven-footed. So what is part the hoof and cloven-footed? What is that actually going into? Right, so click the slide. Right, what does cloven-foot and parteth the hoof mean? Right, right, it was working up. Right,
Kind of Salakia. So when you read the scriptures, you don't just read and kind of just skip over words you don't know, and maybe that's not that important because it's not plain upon tables. You got to actually search it out. Like it says, Sirach, search and seek, and she shall make herself known unto thee. Right? So you have to meet the Lord halfway there. Right? The Lord gave you the manual, and you got to dive into the manual. You got to really love it. You got to know what you're reading. You got to know what you're getting into. Likewise, when you watch a certain movie and you don't know what happened at the end, you're not going to say whatever. You're going to look into it. Likewise with a book or whatever, you're going to look into it. So you got to look into it. This is your love. You got to know everything about this woman.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 28. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. So if you a prudent man, if you a man of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and you studious within this truth, you're going to study to find the answers, man. You can't just read things. You kind of skip over it. You kind of say, well, look, that don't matter. Everything matters within these scriptures, man. Let's get that in Sirach chapter 5, verse 15. Right? So we got to figure out what these things are going into. This is the book of Sirach chapter 5 and verse 15. And it reads thus. Right, bear with me. Sirach chapter 5, verse 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. So something may seem small in the scriptures, but you still can't be ignorant of it. You still got to study to show yourself approved, as it states in 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15. Right? So again, the heart of the righteous is going to study to find out the answers. So we got to understand what cloven-footed and part of the hoof means within the scriptures, because these are attributes, right, that an animal must have. Right? An animal must have 3 attributes. Right? It has to part the hoof, it has to be cloven-footed, and it has to chew the cud, meaning properly digest his meal.
That's right.
Right? You can read. Keep reading on out.
But Slack, no, we just click the next, because we actually going to break it down. Right? So that's a parted hoof that's cloven-footed. Right? When it's not together and it's actually divided. Right? Go ahead, click. Right? A cloven foot is a foot, like as of a sheep, divided into 2 parts at its distal extremity. Right? Which is parted right on that thing. Right? That's what it actually means, and that's how a cloven foot looks. Right? So it can't be together. It got to be parted. You got anything to say?
You can get Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 17. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I want to double check it. That's what it's called.
Let me bring up this too.
The dew foot.
The horse.
That's what we got.
Horse foot.
No,
Right.
it's from the land. Okay. Those are the dew claws. But you got the main 2 hooves, and then you got the dew claws in the back, in case Jake may wonder. But you can bring out Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 17.
It's the book of Wisdom, 7 and verse 17. For he hath given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely to know how the world was made.
So Solomon knew all of this stuff. He's what you call a zoologist. And a zoologist, for those who don't know, you study animals. You know, the general study of animals and how they move, how they operate, mammals, the reptiles. You kind of know the families and their genealogies thereof. You got it.
And the operation of the elements.
All right, go ahead.
The beginning, ending, and midst of the time.
So he knew everything. Damn near. Go ahead.
The alterations of the turning of the sun.
The sun, the moon, the stars, the constellations, how they move. Go ahead.
and the change of seasons,
right?
the circuits of years, and the position of stars.
Right, and it take Esau months, even years to kind of fathom, the Lord's secrets, right? They still can't get it, right? They this close, or it's like they this close, right? Because they not gonna get it. You got it.
The natures of living creatures.
The what?
The natures of living creatures.
So he understood the natures of the living creatures. Meaning he already knew that, right? And he knew that, it's not called the deer. He already had his proper name. Because Esau came on the scene and they renamed everything. The carnivores. These are the omnivores. These are the, so on and so forth. Go ahead.
And the furies of wild beasts.
And the fury of wild beasts. So, Solomon, that man wise, man. Imagine learning from him. He teach you all the parts of the animals, why this is unclean, why that's clean, what the hooves properly do. Go ahead.
The violence of winds and the reasonings of men.
So that's pretty much it.
Precept. This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 10 and verse 6. And she said to the king, and that she is Queen Sheba, right? Because we read up in the first verse, Sheba came to prove Solomon with hard questions, right? Because she's heard of his wisdom, his fame, his might. And she said, look, I want to see about this man. Is this man really wise, right? Do he have the riches and the wealth like they say they do, right? And she found out that was not a lie, man. Solomon was the man on point, man. He had wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Verse 6, and she said to the king, it was a true report that I heard in my own land of thy acts and of thy wisdom. Howbeit, I believed not the words, until I came and my eyes had seen it, and behold, the half was not told me. Thy wisdom and thy prosperity exceedeth the fame which I heard, man. Right? She said, look, man, hey, man, your wisdom and understanding was more than what I heard, man. Your reputation was greater than what I heard. Right? So like the brother going into, man, Solomon had wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right, of every damn thing through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Awashah. Right?
Keep moving. Keep on. All right, yeah. Hit the next slide. Oh, yeah, what? This now, so I can read that in 11 again. Because like he said, you got to part the hoof, divide the hoof, and it got to be cloven footed, divide the hoof, and it has to chew the cud. But we go read it. Got to finish that out.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11.
Right. Bear with us, Israel.
This is the book of
So the video we got up right now, you can barely see it, but it's chewing the cud, a brief explanation, right? It's a proper way that an animal has to eat his meal, right? This is one of the clean attributes, right? And if an animal doesn't have one of these clean attributes, of course it has to have all three, but it damn sure got to have this one too, because this is essential. You don't want to eat an animal or a beast that's not properly digesting his food, chewing it, regurgitating, but it's going to go into it.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, and verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever part of the hoof and is cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat.
Right, so now we're finna go into chewing the cud. All right, so go ahead. You should be able to click play on the video. Brief explanation on it.
At the heart of this bond is the remarkable biology of the cow. A cow can eat pretty much anything and miraculously transform it into milk, meat, and a whole range of other products that sustain our daily lives.
The key to the cow's success lies here, the rumen. It's sort of the belief of every school child that the cow has 4 stomachs. That's not really true. What it has is one true stomach, the abomasum, which is exactly the same as our stomach. Upstream of that is a multi-compartmental fermentation vat, fermentation chamber, wherein live the microbes. Now, when the cow goes out to graze, she eats the grass really as quickly as possible and swallows it almost unchanged. That comes into the rumen, and at that point it's really quite difficult for the microbes to penetrate through the cell wall and start the chemical digestion of the plant fibre. So what the cow has also evolved is this really elegant mechanism of rumination. In this, she moves the food round in the rumen, and then a bolus of food is regurgitated, passes up to the mouth, and then she takes it in her mouth and chews it rather as old cowboys would chew tobacco, 20 chews on one side, 20 chews on the other. This breaks it up, and it comes back down again into the rumen. The microbes, having done their work, then pass out of the fermentation chamber into the abomasum, where they heroically die and give up their lives to provide protein for the cow to produce milk and meat for ourselves.
So that's pretty much,
Con.
you know, what he basically saying is it'll chew the food immediately, then it digests it. Before it enters his stomach, it breaks it down, and it regurgitates that up and chews it, and that's the cud that it's eating. And that actually makes the nutrient, you basically get all the nutrients from that. Right? And that's why it's so healthy to eat food or that, you know, meat that chew the cud.
Con, and I was going to say, Salakia, animals that don't chew the cud is snakes, right? Reptiles, man. They kind of just swallow everything, and it sit in their stomach, and they spit it back up, man. So you don't want to eat nothing like that, man. You want to eat an animal that properly digests his meal. Right, like they said in the video, for our daily life, for our basic necessities. Milk, damn cheese, right? Things that's beneficial for us, man. Right, because the cow properly digests his meal. Right?
Click the next slide. Go ahead and click it. So, you know, when chewing the cud, it basically is saying there it stores in the stomach, kind of spits it back up, and it chews it again. Right? Right, this is from Wikipedia. It says you know, Esau with all these words, man. It says the elementary canal of rudiments, which is basically a part of his stomach. Like you got, you know, cows, different cattle, goats, giraffes, antelope. They're unable. They don't have the enzymes to break the food down, and that's pretty much why they chew the cud the way they do. Right? Click on, and then it says, you know, this is from Britannica.com. It says this process called chewing the cud helps sort the digester, the material being digested, and absorb nutrients. Like I said, so when they chew the cud that way, it absorbs all the nutrients, which is why, you know, you are what you eat. So you're eating all that nutrients that they're getting. They don't just eat the grass. It, you know, digests first, comes back, and then that's what goes into their stomach. And then that what goes into you, all that nutrients.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and these are clean animals, man. You got cattle, right? You got giraffes, you got goats, you got sheep, alpacas, and you got antelope, man. So these are all clean animals according to the Bible, right? So Jake kind of said, oh, what I'm going to eat, brother? I can't eat pork, brother. I can't eat this, and that. You got a variety of foods that you can eat according to the Bible, right? You just got to do your due diligence and research. The Lord gave you the 3 attributes. Now, look, you got to do your studying, got to do your due diligence to find out what's clean and what's not, right?
Move on that. You got anything to add? Hold on. Somebody said go back. Brother's scribing, man. Brother's taking them notes.
Look, man.
Let's get that information.
Brothers got to get up in there.
Now, if brothers, you know, kind of curious, where to get this meat from, you just go online. You know, if you want to eat some giraffe meat, go figure it out. You know, we don't know the proper stores. A lot of the stores in America, they're not going to really sell it. But best believe you can go online and, you know, kind of search it out. Eastern Market, you can get giraffe there.
Right,
okay, you see
out.
that? The brother said he got every meat known to man. So that's like the ancient world market. Right. If you ever been to Eastern Market, they got giraffe meat. So if you want some giraffe nuggets, giraffe bacon, giraffe steak, they might got it. You know?
Right. And these foods may sound kind of, you know, exotic or bizarre, but these are things that we ate in the ancient world, man.
Right.
Right? Because right now we on the western part of the world. We subject to what Esau say is healthy and clean. No, but we got our own foods that we ate when we was on the eastern part of the world, man. When we was in Israel, dwelling in our homeland. Right?
So we got the live stream, so brothers can kind of go back in there. Yeah. But move on to the next slide. All right, pork. All right, so just keep reading on in the Leviticus.
Verse 4. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof.
Right.
As the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof.
Right.
He is unclean unto you.
Right. We were just looking at the cow. It got 2 toes, but it's not divided. Right. Read.
And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you.
Right. Read.
And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you.
Right. So no eating rodents, man. No rats, no rabbits. Right. No squirrel. Right. Right.
And the swine.
And the what?
And the swine.
And the swine. The goddamn pig, man. Right? Is the Lord dealing with this? No, man. The Lord not dealing with pig, man. Right, read.
Though he divide the hoof.
Right.
And be cloven-footed.
And you see his feet. They divided the hoof. He cloven-footed, but what?
Yet he cheweth not the cud.
He doesn't what?
Cheweth not the cud.
He doesn't chew the cud. Right? So he doesn't get that proper nutrients. He doesn't just eat clean grass, man. He eats all kind of things, and we go dive deep into the swine, man. Right? And swine wicked. Let's get give me Luke real quick. Give me Luke 8.
Just to bring out a point, it has to have these 3 attributes, man. It can't have one without the other. Right? Just as the creatures that's dwelling within the waters, they have to have 2 attributes, and we're gonna get to it. Right? But it has to have a cloven-footed, has to part the hoof, and it has to properly digest his meal. Right now, a pig has 2 attributes, but it doesn't have that 3rd attribute of properly digesting his meal. So it's an unclean animal.
I want Luke 8 and start at 29. Right? Luke 8 and 29.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 8 and verse 29.
Right?
For he had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man. For oftentimes it had caught him, and he was kept bound with chains and in fetters. And he brake the bands, and was driven of the devil into the wilderness.
Right, so the man was going mad, man. He was breaking chains, and he had a damn plethora of demons on him, right, Rick?
And Yahweh asked him, saying, What is thy name?
Right.
And he said, Legion, because many devils were entered into him.
Right, so he had many demons on him, because a legion is like a army, sector of in Rome. So the demon said, my name is Legion, right, Rick?
And they besought him that he would not command them to go out into the deep.
Rick?
And there was an herd of many swine.
Of what?
Of many swine.
Right, so it was a herd of pig, the goddamn pork, man, Rick?
Feeding on the mountain, and they besought him that he would suffer them to enter into them, and he suffered them.
Rick?
Then went the devils out of the man and entered into the swine.
Where the demons go?
Into the swine.
Right, so the demons entered into swine, man. So, Yahweh Shah understood that. Even the demons understood that as an unclean vessel, so they could rest within that unclean vessel, man. Right, Rick?
And they entered into the swine, and the herd ran violently down a steep place into the lake and were choked.
Right, you see that? So the Lord, he cast those damn swine into, it's like he cast them damn devils into the swine. And pork got a demon on it, man. People out there scoffing, damn, they want to kill us over saying stop eating the pork, right? Yeah, something you want to bring out?
I want to, now you can Google this too at home, right? Whoever may be watching, right? I Google, will a pig eat more than it needs, right? And this what pops up. Technically, pigs have the capacity to eat as much as it wants, so it will overheat when given the chance. However, overheating does not mean that it will blow up like a balloon. When it has had too much, its body will continue digesting the food, but it may end up unhealthy and overweight. So a pig doesn't have any type of what's the word? No boundaries. It has no discretion, right? It don't give a damn, So that's an unclean animal. And like it's in Proverbs 23:7, you are what you eat, pretty much. Right? You start consuming pigs, you're gonna pick up the attributes of a pig.
Greed.
You're greedy. Now you don't know when to stop. You don't give a damn about your body. You full, but you still eating a little bit more because it tastes so good. Brothers have no chill. You know, this
Right.
one precept in Sirach 31:19. Sirach chapter 31 verse 19. So that's why when the Lord said in Job 12:7, it's like, let me read it real quick while you getting that. This Job 12:7. But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee. So you can even learn from a pig, right? You can learn that a pig doesn't have any chill, right? No type of discretion, no type of, okay, let me relax, right? A pig don't give a damn. You got it.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 31, and verse 19. A very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured, and he fetcheth not his wind short upon his bed.
Right, so you don't want to be that brother that's always eating every damn thing. You got to have some type of chill. I'm still trying to think of the word, but you got to have some type of decorum, got to know when to put your foot on the brakes, when you had enough.
Yeah, know your limit.
And that's what Esau teach. That's that hedonism, right? You eat until, you full, until you just happy. It's like you just keep eating until you full. That's a Western mindset. You eat just enough that'll kind of, get you through the day. Not till you full. What's that?
Precept.
Brother got a precept.
Got a precept.
We're going to get it after.
Hold your precept, King. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15. Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 27. He that is greedy of gain troubleth his own house, but he that hateth gifts shall live. Now, this is talking about a man, right? Man, we can't be greedy in this thing, right? You kind of want all the money, right? You want all the wealth. You want all the women, right? You got to have some kind of decorum like the brother was bringing out. Now, pigs don't have that, man. Pigs going to consume, and consume because that's how the Lord created them, right? Because they are the quote-unquote vacuum cleaners of the earth, right? They are the filtration system, right? They make sure the earth is clean, man, because they eat every damn thing, right? And this is also Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 26. He coveteth greedily all the day long, but the righteous giveth and spareth not. So again, this is talking about a man, but wisdom is double to that which is in the book of Job, chapter 11 and verse 6. So this also applies to the damn pig, man. He coveteth, meaning he wanteth greedily all the day long. He just want to eat, consume, and pigs eat any damn thing, man. Right? Pigs can eat a person, a shirt, glasses, damn, whatever the hell, man. Your shoes. Exactly. So you don't want to consume things that eat every damn thing. Right?
You can,
we had two more. You had a precept? Sirach 30 and 25. You trying to get that Baba
It's
Kashar?
the book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 25. A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet.
That's right.
Yeah, pig don't give a damn what it eat. It's not going to wake up and kind of say, okay, maybe today I eat some grass. You throw anything before a pig, he going to dive into it. It'll eat plastic, a damn carpet, your shoelaces, your spoons, your forks, a chair,
Precept.
a poster.
Each other.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 15. Again, because this is how the Lord created the pig. It reads that which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanton cannot be numbered. So that's the nature of a pig, because the Lord created it that way. Right? Like Israel is a stiff-necked nation by nature, man. That's just how we are as a people, because the Lord created us that way. Right? The so-called white man, he always going to be the devil. He always going to bring forth falsehood. He's always going to be murderous and bloodthirsty, because that's how the Lord created him.
That's right.
So likewise with a pig is always going to be greedy of gain.
That's right.
I got one more. It's like, Proverbs 11 and 22. I'm reading. As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion. So, it tells you the properties and the attributes and a lifestyle of a pig, right? It has no discretion. Keep eating. Don't give a damn. Rabbi, you had a question, and we got to move on. Oh, okay.
Proverbs 15:27 and Proverbs chapter 21, verse 26. Con.
Yeah.
White man, he eat anything. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to be carnal. He got sex with anything. Just like Moab, they ate anything and they don't even have no preference
Yeah.
Just like unclean meats, there's unclean spirits.
Kind of. Well, I got one more precept on that. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 18. Because that's the spirit I was about to go into that, man. Right? Because men are personified as beasts in the Bible. Right? That's why Jake called the cops the pigs. Right? They did that a lot in the 70s, man. The pigs, man. Right? Because Esau's greedy, man. He wants your money. Right? He wants your house. Right? He wants your land. He wants your damn nationality. And he has it right now. So we got to take it back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, man. Bring it out, King.
This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 7.
3 and 18.
Okay, Salaki. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 18.
Right?
I said in mine heart concerning the estate of the sons of men,
So this is pertaining on to men. Read on.
that the Most High might manifest them, and that they might see that themselves are beasts.
Right? So man is personified as beast in the Bible. Right? So we want to come off in the spirit of a sheep. The Lord said, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Who are the wolves? The other nations, the 2/3. Right? Because a wolf is a cunning and conniving creature, man. Right? Kind of lurking, sitting back, looking at you with them damn eyes. And that's what a creeper do, man. Right? Neither do you want to be a dog in this thing. Because the Lord said dogs are not going to make it to the kingdom of heaven. Right? So you got it, brother.
So we can move on to the next slide. Finna get some information. We finna get into it. So pigs are the garbage disposal of the earth. Right? That's their purpose. Right? Everything has a purpose on the earth. Right? Give me Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 1.
Bring it out.
Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 1.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12 and verse 1. For thine incorruptible spirit is in all things.
Right, so the Most High Spirit is in all things, right, to do His will. Right, He needs garbage disposals of the earth, so the earth can stay clean. He needs garbage disposal of the sea, so the sea can stay clean.
Yep.
So if you take away the garbage disposals of the sea get look brown and then all these green and all these weird colors.
Smells.
You take away the like you said, it smells bad. You take away the garbage disposals of the earth, now the earth looks bad. So that the pigs, although they're unclean animal, they do have their purpose, right? You got a point.
Bring that out, King. Right?
Job 14 and 4.
It's the book of Job, chapter 14 and verse 4. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean?
Right.
Not one.
Right, so pig is always going to be an unclean creature, man. No matter how much times you pray over it, damn sanctify it, damn whatever you do, man, it's still going to be an unclean animal. Right? And again, Esau has changed the ordinances. Right? He took the damn bottom feeders out of the sea and he fed it to you as a delicacy. Right? And that's changing the course of this world. This is Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Right now, who inhabits the earth? The so-called white man. Job chapter 9 verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And they say because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Right? So for pigs and bottom feeders to be the filtration system, the fact that Esau made it a delicacy is feeding into the mass of the people. He's changing the ordinances of the earth, man. And he has to be judged and destroyed for that.
Right.
As it states in Revelation chapter 11 and verse 18. The Lord said he's going to destroy those that destroyed the earth. Hey, man, who destroyed the earth, man? The so-called white man, the devil
right.
that the Bible speaks of.
Got
Got it.
So you can go on, click on and that. Right, so this is actually a excerpt from here. It says a solution for food waste in schools, give it to the pigs. Right, click that link, actually, Slocky. Well, no, I don't know if you can click the link, it'd be acting up. So click on that pig toilet. Click the actual link. Yeah. I don't know if it'll pop up here.
It only popped up in there.
Right.
So you know how to and he had did it before when he did that display. You got to go to display on settings.
God, bear with us, Israel.
Right, because y'all got to see this. So a pig damn toilet, they basically they did what they did, and they gave it to the pigsty. So the pigs would eat it and clean it. Moab was doing that. Right? It's literally a pig toilet.
It's another point now. When you if brothers ever seen the old movies Flintstones,
Con.
now all them animals, they had a different duty, right? Now you had the bird probably did what he had to do. You had the damn dinosaur. I don't know. He sweep the leaves or whatever. And then you got the pig, right? Guess what his duty was? He was the garbage disposal. Now you can Google it. You can Google this too. I typed in the Flintstones pig's duty. You go to images. It's gonna show you Fred Flintstone. I think that was his name. And he kind of talking to the pig, and the pig's under the sink. Being a garbage disposal. In other words, all the excess food is going right in the pig's mouth because it's the garbage disposal of the world.
That's right. And Salakia, Hollywood knows the truth, man. Right? They always going to drop truth bombs on you. You just got to be spiritual enough to discern. Right?
Here we go. Now
here's a quick visual.
Yeah, for Jake that want to, you got to get a visual for Jake. Ah, shoot. So this in a TV show.
Check that out.
This in a TV show, Flintstones, that pig eating anything. And we bringing all this out to let Israel know, don't eat a pig because they eat anything, right? You don't really give a damn about your body if you eat a pig. Because a pig can eat gotta keep it PG, but
everything.
Hey, just know they eat anything, right? We stir shit up. There's some stuff that we can't really say they eat. Yeah. But use your imagination. You said what? Yeah, they actually do that still today. People in the mafia. They if you seen the movie Snatch, brother, seen that? Dang, it's a good movie. Brother, see the movie Snatch? They fed them to the pigs.
This is Psalm chapter 64 and verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. That's going into the so-called white man. And him revealing certain knowledge in these last days. Right? Putting it on the Hollywood screen. Right? And it say, all they that see them shall flee away, man. Right? So we going into it, man. Right? Pork is unclean. Right? And we got to abstain from it as the Israelites, man. We a set-apart nation. As it states in Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 24. Let me bring that out. Hold your precept, King. This is the book of Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 24. But I have said unto you, ye shall inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it. A land that floweth with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, which have separated you from other people. So we a set-apart nation. When you check out these different nations, they eat whatever they want to eat, man. Right? Especially the Moabite, man. Right? They eat damn rats, damn dogs, cats. Right? You be seeing them little stores in Vietnam, they be going off, man.
Eating cow
right?
vagina.
Verse 26. Shalakia. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I the Lord am holy, and I have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. So we are severed and we are set apart nation. We got to abstain from eating these unclean things, Israel. Right? And that's playing upon tables. Right? Let's get Exodus chapter 19 and verse 6. What in Salakia, who had a precept? Khan. Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26. You said Proverbs chapter 16 verse 12. Bring that out, Karatazar.
It's the book of Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 12.
Right?
It is an abomination to kings to commit wickedness.
It is an abomination for kings to commit wickedness. What's an abomination? Get Sirach chapter 15 verse 13. So us as kings, we can't commit wickedness in the sight of the Lord.
The book of Sirach chapter 15 and verse 13.
Bring it out.
Yahweh hateth all abomination, and they that fear the Most High love it not.
So it say the Lord hates all abominations. Right? An abomination is a thing of hate and disgust to the Lord. So it's an abomination, meaning it's a hateful thing for a king to commit wickedness. Right? And we are the kings that cannot commit wickedness before the Lord.
That's right.
Go back to Proverbs 16 and 12.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 12.
Bring it out.
It is an abomination to kings to commit wickedness.
Read on.
For the throne is established by righteousness.
It say the throne is established by righteousness. Right? So when we make it to the kingdom of heaven, we're going to tell the nations to keep the dietary law, man. Right? Give me that Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 20. Right? All nations going to have to start keeping these commandments. Right? No, Moab, no more eating rats, dogs, and cats, man. Esau, no more eating damn pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. Right? All that's going to be cut out in the kingdom of heaven. And we're going to have to uphold these laws, statutes, and commandments. Zechariah chapter 8, verse 20.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 8 and verse 20.
Right?
Thus saith Yahweh,
Thus saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So this is the Lord speaking. Read on.
it shall yet come to pass that there should come people and the inhabitants of many cities.
Meaning all the nations of the earth, the so-called white man, the Chinese man, the Japanese man. Read on.
And the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, let us go speedily to pray before Yahweh and to seek Yahweh. I will go also. Yeah, many people and strong nations.
Right? Strong nations, man. The so-called white man. Right? The Japanese man, the African man. Right? The Arab man. Many strong nations. Read on.
Shall come to seek Yahweh in Jerusalem.
And they're going to come to seek the Lord, man. Read on.
And to pray before Yahweh.
Read on.
Thus saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages
Right.
of the nations.
And Salakia, 10 is a spiritual number which means completion. Right? So all the nations of the earth. Read on.
Even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew.
Right? So they're going to cleave onto the Israelites in that day. Read on.
Saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that the Most High is with you.
Right? So that's saying that the nations are going to cleave to the Israelites, meaning they're going to have to keep the laws, man. Right? They're going to have to keep that dietary law. Down wear fringes, grow beards out. They women going to have to wear dresses and skirts and head wraps, so on and so forth, man.
That's right. And if we catch them eating some bacon, man, all hell gonna break loose. They're gonna get a rod upside the head, man. That's in Revelation 2 and 26. Because we're gonna rule the nations with a rod of iron. And there's gonna be a police force, back, for lack of better words. There's gonna be people policing their neighborhoods and their cities and their countries. You know, the same way in America policing us. And they doing it unlawfully. But we're gonna do it righteously. But knowing Esau, knowing his nature, because he's that snake, right? He's always going to be crooked. He will never be made straight. So there's always going to be punishment and chastisement for Esau, right? He's going to go through it. And we're going to enjoy seeing his punishment. The same way he enjoys seeing us go through it. You know those policemen at these steak dinners, they talk, yeah, another nigger, I got him, right? Hey, they the pigs. We call them pigs because that's what they are, right? We call them pigs, snakes, you know, the devil. He goes by many names, right?
Rats.
Rats. The rats. But in this case, hey, he's the pig, right? We're going into the damn anatomy and the specifics about the pig, right? You'll see how much this pig relates to Esau.
That's right.
I wanted to just bring this out so bad because it's crazy. So this is a pig. It's like Israel. You know how I get with this technology. But it says a pig toilet, right? So it's basically it's a dry toilet, right? And they pretty much set it outside the pigsty, and the pig would consume the feces as well as other food. So pigs was used to eat, you know, lack of better terms, to use to eat shit, man, right? So they'll do what they do, put it in the pigsty, and they'll clean it up, and then that's how they, you know, got rid of their feces.
Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 11, man. Right, because that's similar to a dog. So we kind of going into animals in this thing, right? Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 11.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 26 and verse 11.
Right, read on.
As a dog returneth to his vomit.
As a what?
As a dog returneth to his vomit.
Right, so dogs return to their vomit, man. If you ever had a dog, if they throw up, they kind of licking it up and eating it back up, man. Right? It's the same thing with a pig. Pig eat his own shit, man. We bringing it out. Read on.
So a fool returneth to his folly.
And that's how a fool going to go back into the world and return to their folly, man. Right here it is. You done came into the truth. You done put on these laws, statutes, and commandments, and you went back into the world. You like a dog that returned to your vomit. Right? Or a pig that returned back to his damn doo-doo, man. Right? His own wallowing in the mire, as it states in 2 Peter. Bring it out. Matter of fact, 2 Peter 2 and 16.
How long we been live? It don't show.
It's the book of 2 Peter, chapter 2, and verse 16.
Right. Now, this should be common sense, but again, common sense is not so common, man. 2 Peter, chapter 2, verse 16.
The book of 2 Peter, chapter 2, and verse 16.
Right.
But was rebuked for his iniquity. The dumb ass, speaking with man's voice, forbade the madness of the prophet.
Keep reading, not.
These are wells without water, clouds that are carried with a tempest,
Right.
to whom the mist of darkness is reserved forever. For when they speak greatly swelling words of vanity,
Go to verse 22, Baba Kashah.
verse 22, but it has happened unto them according to the true proverb.
Read on.
The dog is turned to his own vomit again.
Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 11. The dog has went back to his vomit, right? Meaning that man has went back to his wickedness. He has went back into the world. He has forsook the ministry and forsook the Lord. Read on.
And the soul that was washed to her wallowing.
A sow is a female pig, right? Here it is. You just washed this female pig. Read on.
That was washed to her wallowing in the mire.
Because you can wash a pig and it's going to go back into that mud, man. It's going to always return back to that dirt and that filth, right? Read on.
That's it on that.
Right.
Yeah, so click the next slide. Slide here.
Is it going into this? It's going into this topic. Con, bring it out real quick.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 21, verse 23. What's it? Verse 19. And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus saith Yahweh, hast thou killed and also take possession? And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus saith Yahweh, in the place where dogs lick the blood of Naboth.
It said the dogs licked up the blood. Now we know in Leviticus, the 17th chapter, in the 10th verse, that we cannot eat blood according to the Bible. But here it is, you got dogs licking up blood. That's unclean. Read on.
Lick the blood of Naboth. Shall dogs lick thy blood even time? And Ahab said to Elijah, Hast thou found me, O mine enemy? And he answered, I have found thee, because thou hast sold thyself to work evil in the sight of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Behold, I will bring evil upon thee, and will take away thy posterity, and will cut off from Ahab him that pisseth against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel.
Right, so this is judgment upon King Ahab for being wicked and selling himself to work evil in the sight of the Lord. Read on.
And will make thine house like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha, the son of Ahijah, for the provocation wherewith thou hast provoked me to anger, and made Israel to sin. And Jezebel also spake Yahweh, saying, The dog shall eat Jezebel.
The dog shall do what?
The dog shall eat Jezebel.
Hey, man, so a wild dog can eat a person, man. Read on.
By the wall of Jezreel.
Read on.
Him that dieth of Ahab in the city of the dogs shall eat, and him that dieth in the field shall the fowls of the air eat.
Right, so we got unclean dogs, right? You got fowls of the air. So we reading about these different unclean animals, man, right? That's subject to eating people, right? You got it.
Right. Yeah. Click on. So this is just an insert from National Geographic. It said, if you wanted to produce a large amount of meat quickly, the animal, it's like the pig was the animal for you, right? Which is why Esau, the pigs and chicken is some of the most digest food in America, because Esau is a greedy bastard, huh? And you can just kind of finish explain why they use the pig. It says, maybe most remarkably of all, they reproduce so quickly because a pig will eat anything. It means it eats unsavory things such as dead animals, rotting garbage, and even human feces. Right? So they eat dead animals and garbage, man. Right? Go on to the next slide. All right, you see that? Read on, or click on. All right, click that.
It say, just to read, say pigs are eating Las Vegas casino leftovers, man. Right, so pigs eating leftovers, man. Bring it out, King. Salakia, that's like That's like going into the trash, eating the leftovers that's in the trash.
I know you want to try and get
Right.
the whole video. Is there a certain point you wanted to go to? I think you got to fast forward it to where you actually show the pigs.
Kind of fast forward it into the middle, brother.
Like
Baba Kashab.
about the middle.
Las Vegas is the
What about 3:15?
city of excess. But after the party, someone's got to clean up. And in Vegas, that means throwing out.
Well, Salakia, you can go home. You can look it up on your own. Pigs are eating Las Vegas casino leftovers, right? So pigs eating any damn thing, man, right? And they found some abominable things within those where those pigs eat, man. We ain't gonna go into it, but they found some stuff,
Yeah, they found some wicked stuff.
right?
Hold on, let me see.
And the pig just ate it, consumed it all up, man.
Mountains of uneaten.
Hey man, a pig can eat a baby.
Every year, 133
They ain't gotta play it. Get Isaiah chapter 65.
billion pounds of food in the
Pig can eat your glasses, your watch, your garment.
You got to look that video up on at home, man. We was watching that. Yeah, it's some crazy stuff going on.
Bring that out, King.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and verse 13.
Right?
Therefore, thus saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua,
65 and verse 2.
in verse 2.
Right?
I have spread out my hands all the day unto a rebellious people.
And that rebellious people is talking about the nation of Israel. How's the Lord spreading out his hands through the prophets? Us going out there on Fridays and Saturdays and all throughout the week teaching this Bible, trying to get Israel to repent and hearken to their nationality and these commandments. Read on.
Which walketh in a way that was not good.
And that's Israel. They walk in ways that's not convenient. That's not vital for their salvation. Read on.
After their own thoughts.
After their own thoughts. Oh, I feel like this. Well, this is how I look at it. This is how I see life. Read on.
A people that provoketh me to anger continually to my face.
Right, so the Lord always upset and mad at Israel because we provoke him to anger before his face. Read on.
That sacrificeth in gardens and burneth incense upon altars of brick.
Read on.
Which remain among of the graves and lodge in the monuments, which eat swine's flesh.
Which do what?
Which eat swine's flesh.
Read on.
And broth of abominable things is in their vessels.
It say, and broth of abominable things are in their vessels. That's talking about your crawfish bowls, right? Your damn mukbang challenges, right? Catfish soup, right? So the Lord said the broth of abominable things are in their vessels, right? So you got to repent from that, Israel. No eating these damn unclean foods. At least you get put to death by Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because that's the judgment. When you read Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 15.
You can click on. Right. That's that swine garbage feeding. Click that. You know what you got to do? Click the article and then exit out of the PowerPoint. Once you exit out the PowerPoint.
But again, look this up on your own, Israel, because this is some important information that you need to know, right? I know a lot of you brothers and sisters already know you're not supposed to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, but you got new babes in this truth, man, right? We got Israelites that we got to wake up, man. We still in captivity and slavery, so we got to put forth the work, man, right? We got to continue to speak the same things in repetition. We may sound like a broken record, but these lessons are vital for Israel's salvation, right? Bring it out.
This is Sirach 33 and 17. Consider that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning.
Yep.
You know you can't eat pork, right? You don't just hold up that treasure and that gems and this knowledge to yourself and say, yeah, whatever, brother, you figure it out. You got to really, labor for Israel all,
Do
know.
deeper lessons, brother.
You said what?
They be saying do deeper lessons, brother.
Yeah, deeper lessons. Let's go into 2nd Ezra 12, Revelation 9. Brother, you still eating pork.
Right.
You're not even checking your ingredients. You still got to make sure this don't got pork and that don't got pork. Certain things still got pork in it.
Right.
So brothers still got to do their due diligence. And not only that, Hey, you never know. Somebody might ask you, well, can you explain why pigs is unhealthy? Hey, you'll never know.
They might want the science behind it.
Exactly.
You can't be all confounded.
And best believe we had Israel ask us those questions.
Right.
Go into the science behind it. Kind of explain, elaborate a little bit more. Can you get some more facts? Because I'm trying to tell my rib, or I'm trying to tell my kids, whatever the case may be. So you have to know more than just, Leviticus 11:7. It may be plain upon you, but it's not plain to everybody else. So that's why, when you bring in the scientific facts to back it up, they start to understand and like, oh, okay.
Because we didn't have brothers to ask, well, what's a divided hoof, brother?
Yeah.
What's a cloven foot? What do it mean by chew the cud? So you got to be able to properly break these things down. So this is Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 12. For when the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of Yahweh, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. Right? So the dietary law is considered the milk of the scriptures. Right? It's the fundamental, basic, elementary things that you must know as an Israelite. And a lot of our people don't know it, man. We still run across brothers and sisters say, well, damn, I was eating pork. For real? Right? Don't properly chew the cud? What? I never heard that before. Right? So we still got a lot of work to do, man. So these lessons are important for Israel's salvation. Right? Can't neglect the milk in this thing. Right? Once you grow into this truth, you still got to touch on the milk every now and then. Because there's still a lot of brothers and sisters that's new coming into the truth. So here we go. We got swine garbage feeding, man. And they did this in the days of old. As it states in Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9, there's nothing new under the sun. Matter of fact, bring that out in Mark chapter 5 and start at the 9th verse. I believe you read it in Matthew. Luke, was that Luke that you read about the swine feeding? Yeah. But it's another account in Mark the 5th chapter.
It's the book of Mark, chapter 5 and verse 9.
Right.
And he asked him, what is thy name? And he answered, saying, my name is Legion.
Right, so this is the Lord casting out devils, man. Right, so this man had a plethora of demons on him. Right, he was severely vexed with unclean spirits. Like a lot of our people out here today, they talking to themselves. They walking up and down the street, damn, in the nude, screaming, fighting the air. Bring it out.
And he besought him much that he would not send them away out of the country.
Right.
Now there was nigh unto the mountains a great herd of swine feeding.
A what?
A great herd of swine feeding.
It say a great herd of swine feeding, man. So there's nothing new under the sun. They doing the same thing to this day. Right, so we have the account right here. Swine garbage feeding. And it reads, many foreign animal diseases, including classical swine fever and foot and mouth disease, may be spread by feeding raw garbage derived from meat products to swine. The swine garbage feeding regulations are the direct result of past occurrence of swine vascular exanthema, and it's spread by garbage feeding. Right, so this is a very nasty profession, man. So you got to be a certain kind of brother that want to deal with this. It say the regulations were written in 1954 following 20 years of unsuccessful attempts to eradicate the disease. It say, what is garbage feeding? A swine garbage feeding facility is a facility that feeds any meat garbage to pigs. Basically any damn thing. It say garbage is defined as any waste which consists in whole or in part of any animal waste that results from the handling, preparing, cooking, and consuming of food. To prevent potential disease spread, all meat garbage must be sterilized prior to being fed to swine, meaning they break it down. That's basically what it's saying. They don't just feed the swine these things. They got to break it down so the swine can eat it. It say the only exception is ordinary household garbage originating on and being fed directly to swine on the same premise in cases where other food products are transported to the premises in the same container with raw garbage. The entire load must be fed without heat treatment, only if kept completely separate from untreated meat garbage and all equipment used to handle untreated meat garbage. And this goes back to the video that you brothers and sisters should check out, right, in which they feeding garbage to the pigs in Las Vegas, right? So that's swine feeding. And that's the same thing in the scriptures in Mark the 5th chapter.
All right, so you can open up the.
Well, I got one quick precept. Can you go back to that real quick, Barbara Kashar?
Back to the.
That thing. It's in Luke. You trying to get Luke chapter 15, verse 13?
It's the book of Luke, chapter 15 and verse 13. And not many days after, the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country, and there wasted his substance with riotous living. And when he had spent all there, arose a mighty famine in that land, and he began to be in want. And when he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country,
Right.
and he sent him into his fields to feed swine.
So this is spiritual, right? But in this parable, you have Esau, the heathen. Jake came over, kind of looking for work. And Esau said, look, go feed the swine, right? Because they viewed us as less than nothing, right? Because that job is fit for somebody that's less than nothing, right? Go ahead.
And he would fain have filled his belly with the husk that the swine did eat. And no man gave unto him. And when he came to himself, he said, how many hired servants of my father's have bread enough and to spare?
See that? You think about, his father's house. But at the point I wanted to bring out is, hey, look at this man. He dealing with pigs all day. And that could put a spirit on you, That's a bad lot, man. It is. That's vexing. You seeing a pig just eat everything. You're kind of like, what the hell are you doing? Right. You got to see that. You got to witness it. Yeah, that's people's jobs today, man. But that's going to be Esau's job in the kingdom.
That's right. Like the brother said, that's a beautiful precept because they literally fed the pigs garbage. So, somebody was looked upon for having that job. Like, go eat the damn swine, you damn slave. Or go feed the swine, you damn slave. So that's off. All right, so go back to the PowerPoint from where we left off. Just keep skipping ahead. Right. We was past this. Yeah, we was past this. Damn. Right, check this out. This is actually a pig eating a damn dead dog. Damn, you see that?
That's how gruesome it
This
is, man.
video is age restricted and only available on YouTube.
You see that?
So it's bad, man.
That's bad right there.
Can't make this stuff up.
All right, so keep going. All right, just keep going. Yep, if you Google, it's like this. Yeah, you see the thumbnail. Y'all see it's real, man. That's real right there. Right? Hey, they even eat people, man. Hey, pigs even eat people. Bring it up. Right? It says weird, yes, but not. So like it says weird, yes, but not at all uncommon. It says in 2019, a Russian woman fell into an epileptic emergency while feeding her hogs. She was eaten alive, and her remains were found in the pen. Right, she got to having a seizure, fell in the damn pen, and the pigs ate her, man.
She was swine feeding.
Right? In 2015, a Romanian farmer died of blood loss after being attacked by his hogs. A year prior, a 2-year-old toddler from China was eaten when he wandered into a hog enclosure. Right? You had something to say?
God. That's why, again, when Esau, that heathen, made him feed that swine, look, man, that's what you're dealing with. That's a possible consequence.
Dangerous profession.
With dealing with swine, they may eat you, they may bite your ankle. Imagine a pig biting your ankle, that'll ruin your day. You might just want to go home, call it quits. A pig ain't. That'll make you sick, man. Kind of bite your ankle, tugging at you. Get off.
All right.
Oh, that's awful, man.
Sirach chapter 39, verse 28. Because that's judgment from the Lord, man. Right on a deeper spiritual level. This is all judgment by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. Right? They say Romanian, damn Russian woman, a damn gook child. Bring it out. Sirach 39:28.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 28.
Right?
There be spirits that are created for vengeance,
So the Lord created spirits for the sake of vengeance. Revenge. Read on.
which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance.
Read on.
Teeth of wild beasts.
What the Bible say?
Teeth of wild
It
beasts.
say teeth of wild beasts. Now we think about lions, we think about coyotes, we think about serpents, but what about the damn pigs, man? Damn pig can kind of get at you, eat you, tear you down, right? Eat your flesh while you alive, man, right? So these are teeth of wild beasts that the Lord can use as judgment upon men. Read on.
And scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction.
Punishing the wicked for destruction, man. So all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The Lord can use these different spirits for the sake of vengeance. Got it.
So the last one, it says in 2013, a mob boss was still alive when he was fed to hogs by a rival family. In fact, it's been whispered for years that the mafia used hogs to help them dispose of bodies. Wow. Right? They got damn pig farms, and they'll feed, you know how they do, they cut people up and all that nonsense. They'll feed the dead body to the hogs, man.
Again, if you see that movie Snatch, you'll watch it. You'll see it for yourself. You'll get the visual.
Con.
You can move on to the next slide.
And Salakia, like the precepts say in the Bible, they are wise to do evil, man. Right? That's a very evil thing, but it's wise, it's crafty. Let me use the pigs kind of help me get rid of this dead body. Right? Bring it out.
And look at that, man. Why would you want to eat that? Look at that thing, man. That's disgusting, man. Bring it out. Now go to the next one. That's all. Right, they're even scientifically proven unhealthy. Right, if you click that that link.
Con. Bring it. Yeah, bring that out, Kang. So we're going to go into the scientific facts of the matter. Right? So it says scientific evidence that pig meat pork is prohibited for human health. Right? And the doctor's not going to tell you this, man. Because the scriptures say they are physicians of no value. It say among all animal meats, pork is the filthiest diet to consume by human beings. And that's a heavy statement, man. To say this is the filthiest thing for a man to eat. It say pig is the cradle of harmful germs. Scientific evidence proves that pig meat is least healthy, having different harmful agents like cholesterol and fatty acids, bacteria and toxins, and a number of parasites, man. Right? It say the pig meat is high in fat and cholesterol that causes the cardiovascular diseases, obesity, the incident of large intestine cancer. So the Lord, the article is telling you that, eating pig causes cancer. It say bacteria and toxins associated with pigs spread many diseases like salmonellas, which lead to the acute gastritis and diarrhea. Many other diseases like tuberculosis, yersiniosis, listeriosis, leptospirosis, baccalaureus, smallpox, influenza, anthrax, banlatendial, dysentery, foot rot, cholera, and erysipeloid are attributed with pork consumption. Right? That's a whole bunch of stuff right there, man. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 59. Salakia. Right? Because these are the curses, man. The Lord said these sicknesses will come upon us for eating these unclean foods. That's actually a judgment that the Lord put upon the nation of Israel.
I just wanted to make a point. When Esau eat these things, they don't get jammed up like Jake. Right? Just like when they shave their beard, they don't get all them bumps. But Jake get all the bumps, man, because, again, you getting punished for your sin. Right? So Esau, he can devour raw meat. Let you eat some raw meat and see what happened to your body, man.
God. Bring that out, King.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 59.
Bring it out.
The Lord will make thy plagues wonderful.
The Lord said he will make thy plagues wonderful. And all these diseases we just read are wonderful plagues, man. Read on.
And the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues.
When they say wonderful, meaning they're serious, man, right? It's life or death. If you have any of these plagues, you got to take it serious, man. You got to seek out the physician. Bring it out.
And of long continuance, and sore sickness.
And what?
And sore sickness.
So all these diseases are sore sicknesses. Read on.
And of long continuance.
And of long continuance, because you can have diabetes for all your damn life, man. Type 1, type 2, right? Read on.
Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of.
Which thou was afraid of, man. We was afraid of these diseases in the ancient world, right? But here it is, our people willfully eating these unclean foods. So now you subjecting yourself to these diseases, to these unclean things. Read on.
And they shall cleave unto thee.
And they say they shall cleave unto thee, man. Right? Why? Because we going against the laws of God. We going against the ordinance that the Heavenly Father set up. The Lord gave us righteous meats that we can consume as a nation of people. But here it is, you want to seek out the pork. Right? You want the crab. You want the shrimp. You want everything that's abominable. And that shows your damn mindset, man. That shows that you in a wrong and bad spirit as a nation of people. Right? So reading on to it, it say parasitic diseases, Ascaris, Eclosomasius, Toxoplasmosis, Trichlinosis, Costocricosis, showing signs, right? Showing signs of mental disorders, pneumonia, bleeding of the lungs, which may lead to death or madness. And what's madness? Put spirits on you. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 28. Bring that out.
The book
Basically
of
saying it's gonna
Deuteronomy.
lead to you having spirits on you. Bring it out.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness.
With what?
With madness.
Read on.
And blindness and astonishment of heart.
So when you eating these unclean foods, the Lord put spirits on you. We just read that in Mark the 5th chapter. You got it.
Just got a point to make, Slakia. Like you said, it can, it can give you a mental disorder, like madness, man. That's just, that's what pork do to spirits, man. People think we play, pork can put spirits on you. There it is, man. Madness ain't nothing but a spirit that the Lord said He'll smite you with for consuming food you ain't supposed to.
Right.
Yep. Con. Read on. They say the patient. Oh, yeah, more on that. Con, Salakia. Go ahead, brother. Yeah. Put a rage demon on him. Right? Check that out, man. It say the patient may become blind and deaf. So this is some serious stuff, man. The Lord can really jam you up for eating unclean foods. Right? You eating pork, you consuming it on Thanksgiving. Next thing you know, you wake up, you can't see nothing, man. Next thing you know, you blind, you can't hear nothing. They trying to grab, hey man, wake up. You're deaf. You don't know nothing. It say nitrates used in pork and pork products as additives are converted into nitrosamines, which cause hepatic cell tumors. And this is why we exhort Israel to check your ingredients. When you go into these local supermarkets and stores owned by the so-called white man, make sure you're checking your ingredients. Again, Proverbs 15:28, the righteous is going to study the answer. The Bible says a prudent man looketh well to his goings. So you don't want to just consume anything in this truth. It say flesh of the pork is hard to digest and may lead to chronic digestive disturbances. Pimples, boils, cysts are common in pork eaters. Damn. The pig excretory system secretes 2% of its uric acid, Salakia, that is injurious for the human health. Pork consumption seriously affects human health and adversely injures one's moral values. Check that out. It say it injures your moral values, man. Right? Because through the spirit, people know that eating pork is unclean. They know it's against the laws of the Most High. So that's when it says it's going to injure your moral values. A person gets pig-like characteristics by eating pork, indecency, obscenity, and vanished honor of woman. Now, you know Esau added his little thing in there. I don't know where that came from. But the fact is that you eating pork, it put a spirit on you, right? You put on the spirit of a pork, right? And it show you that in that Malcolm X movie, man. He was kind of breaking it down to his woman, like, look, pigs are greedy. It's the most filthiest animal on the earth. You got it.
I got just basically a classic that goes in with that, with the reading, the understanding, everything. Revelation 1 and 3.
Okay. You could bring that out, King. Right, because it's important to read in this truth, man. It's important to read in life, period, man. You don't want to go through our life not reading nothing. You're going to get jammed up. Are you done with that? Con, that's done. Revelations 1 and 3.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 3.
Bring it out.
Blessed is he that readeth.
What the Bible say?
Blessed is he that readeth.
So the Lord said you blessed when you begin to read the scriptures. The Lord said in Isaiah chapter 34 verse 16, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. Read on.
And they that hear the words of this prophecy.
And they that hear the words of this prophecy. They that hear the Bible. Right? They that hearken to these laws, statutes, and commandments. The Lord said you blessed when you begin to do so. Read on.
And keep those things which are written therein.
And you got to keep those things which are written. As it states in Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 1. You don't want to let these laws, statutes, and commandments slip by your wayside. Right? You want to take hold of this life. As it states in Job chapter 29 verse 14. You got to put on righteousness and they have to clothe you in this truth. Read on.
For the time is at hand.
Hey, it say the time is at hand. We living in the end times, man. All hell is breaking loose. Blood moons, massive floods, World War III brewing up, racial tension brewing up in America, right? So the Lord is bringing about judgment on this earth, and we got to make sure we keeping these commandments so we can be saved in that day.
That's right.
As it states in Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 5, right? Whoso keepeth the commandments shall feel no evil thing, and a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. So you got to discern the time.
Slacky. So the Lord said, why we sin, when we don't sin, the Lord is with us, right? Keep reading.
But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore.
You see that? But we was destroyed by the Lord when we sinned. So that's why they would feed swine to the slaves, man.
Con. And Salaki, they do that to this day, man. Right? They push out the damn BLTs, right? The damn pork smothered in the gravy, right? They put that all on our people, man. Our people consume it. They eat it up, right? And the damn Lord Caesar commercial always kind of showing a damn pepperoni pizza, right? Kind of enticing Jake to sin, man. And why do they do that? They weaponize sin against you so you can stay in slavery, so you can stay oppressed as a nation of people, right? So you don't receive the kingdom of heaven. They trying to keep you away from the tree of life, right? Like those spirits did in the Garden of Eden, all right?
Yeah, click that.
I got one more precept. Judith chapter 11 and verse 10. Just to land me back off the Brother Kabosh precept.
It's the book of Judith, chapter 11 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
Therefore, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and governor, respect not his word, but lay it up in thine heart.
You got to lay up these words within your mind, right? Everything we bringing out to you through the spirit and power of the Lord, you got to really lay these things up in your heart, man. You can't let it go in one ear and out the other. And that's what our people love to do, man. As it states in Hebrews 2 and 1, you can't let these words slip from you. Read on.
For our nation shall not be punished.
Our nation should not be punished except what?
Neither can sword prevail against them except they sin against their God.
Except they sin against their God. That's the only way we're going to be punished as a nation of people, when we sin and we go against the laws of God. Right? So, so, right, if y'all brothers could look up at the screen, it say the curious reason many African Americans enjoy pork chitterlings and pot liquor. Now, again, African American, that's a title, right? Africa, that's the name of a white man. Leo Scipio Africanus, and America come from Amerigo Vespucci. So we are really the Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible.
That's right.
Right, but we're known as African Americans, Negroes, and blacks. Right? So reading on to the article, it say eating the intestines of the hog and drinking the juice from the cooked greens is rooted in a selfish practice the masters had during slavery. So basically, they gave you the scraps of the pig, right? They gave you the intestines. They gave you the pig juice, all right? And we ain't got to play that video, but that's basically shitterlings. It say many African Americans have passed down the tradition of eating shitterlings during Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year. And those are pagan holidays and traditions of the so-called white man. Right, your ass was in a cotton field picking cotton, and on these days, the white man gave you shitterlings and said, look, go play, boy. Go have fun with your family. Right? It say for some families, their holiday is not complete without the intestines of a hog on the menu. A number of blacks in the United States also drink pot liquor, which is the liquid that is left in the pot once greens have been cooked. What may not be widely known is the origin of these curious habits, which both have their roots in an ugly aspect of American slavery, man. So they're not going to teach you in Esau school system about why we do the certain things we do to this day, right? It say, although they worked hard from Sanoop to sundown, enslaved Africans were not fed well. And that's playing the punt tables. We was not fed well. We was fed shitterlings, pig feet, hog maw, pig ears, scribble dabble, dooble babble,
Pig knuckle.
right? It say in order to have the strength for their growling day's work, they had to ingest that which masters would not. Hungry slaves had no choice but to eat chitterlings. The first time I heard about the curious origins of hog intestines was from Miss Margaret Thompson, who was my 5th grade teacher at Lincoln Terrace Elementary School in Roanoke, Virginia. She told the class that the shitterlings were the part of the body that excrement went through. Miss Thompson said no matter how well the guts were cleaned, there was always a chance that feces were left in them. So no matter how much time you try to clean it, you're kind of getting into it, you're rubbing it, you're trying to, gotta get it off. It's still shit in there, man. It say she added their plantation owners ate the best part of the pork. And there's no best part of the pork, man. Right. Pork is an unclean animal. Don't consume it at all. It say, and the slaves had to eat what was left over in order not to starve. All right, so that's playing the punt tables, man. Right, now give me 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 60. Right, so we was under the curses, man. Because according to the Bible, you got to choose to starve rather than to eat pork. Like our forefathers did in the book of Maccabees. Bring it out, King.
It's the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 60.
Bring it out.
At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women.
Now, this is going into when the Greeks Hellenized the Jews, right, under Antiochus Epiphanes IV. Read on.
That had caused their children to be circumcised.
Right, because circumcision is a law in the scriptures when you read Leviticus chapter 12 and verse 3. A child has to be circumcised the 8th day, a man child. Read on.
And they hanged the infants about their necks.
Right, so the devil was hanging our babies by their necks, man. And they want us to love and forgive and call a spade a spade. Hell no, man. You going to slavery.
That's
Bring
right.
it out.
And rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcision them.
Right, read on.
Howbeit many in Israel,
many valiant men and women, read on,
were fully resolved and conformed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing.
not to eat pork, crab, shrimp, lobster, read on.
Wherefore, the rather to die,
They chose rather to die, read on,
that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died.
and that links directly up with Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10. You got to be faithful unto death so the Lord can give you a crown of life.
Con.
So in these last days, Esau's going to try to force us to eat pork within the FEMA camps and the concentration camps. But we got to be faithful unto death. We got to stand firm in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right? Bring it out, Revelation 2 and 10.
It's the book of Revelations, chapter 2 and verse 10.
Right?
Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer.
Read on.
Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison.
So we're going to be thrown in prison, in the FEMA camps, in the
Con.
concentration camps, when we don't conform to the so-called New World Order. Read on.
that ye may be tried,
That ye may be tried. Read on.
and ye shall have tribulation 10 days.
And a part of that tribulation is Esau trying to force pork down your throat. Read on.
Be thou faithful unto death.
You got to be faithful unto death. You got to be ready to die for the Lord, man. And put your life on the line for the law and for the covenant.
That's right.
Read on.
And I will give thee a crown of life.
And the Lord said He's going to give you a crown of life. So this thing is about being faithful to the Lord. Right? As it states in Sirach chapter 41, verse 3. My last precept. You got to come, King. I got you. Sirach chapter 41, verse 3.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 41 and verse 3.
Bring it out.
Fear not the sentence of death.
What the Lord say?
Fear not the sentence of death.
You can't be afraid to die in this thing,
That's
man.
right.
Right? You got to understand death. All spirits go back to the Heavenly Father. What you scared of, man? Right? When you in the spirit world, you at peace. You resting from oppression and bondage. Right? So the Lord said, fear not the sentence of death. Read on.
Remember them that have been before thee.
Remember those that have been before you, man. Right? Judas Maccabees. All the valiant men of the scriptures. Right? Read on.
And that come after.
And that come after you. Read on.
For this is the sentence of the Lord over all flesh.
So all men must die, man. So what you afraid of? Why are you trying to seek to save your life? Getting down and eating pork, staining your damn honor, man. Right? Keep these commandments, Israel. Die for the Lord. Be valiant. Be courageous and be brave in His truth. Bring it out.
It's like, let me get 2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 18. 2 Maccabees 6 and 18.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 18.
Con.
Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of a well-favored countenance,
Right.
was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh.
Right, so he was a man high up in status, so they're like, if we can kind of get him, we can convince everybody else. So they constrained him and try to get him to eat swine's flesh, just like they tried to do with Mattathias, man. They wanted him to sacrifice to a damn idol. Right, read on.
But he choosing rather to die gloriously.
To do what?
To die gloriously.
Right, so he chose, I'd rather die than eat that damn pork, right?
Than to live stained with such an abomination.
Right, to live stained. That's a damn stain on your garment, man. If you damn eating pork. So he said, I'd rather die than have that stain, that big ketchup mustard stain on my damn garment. Right, so that's pretty much it on that. So any last words?
Brother Rapal, the precept. Bring it out.
Judith chapter 12 and verses 1 to 2.
Bring it out.
It's the book of Judith, chapter 12 and verse 1. Then he commanded to bring her in where his plate was set.
Right.
And bade that they should prepare for her of his own meats, and that she should drink of his own wine. And Judith said, I will not eat thereof.
I will what?
I will not eat thereof.
I say you got mighty women in this thing. She said, I ain't eating that, man. Read.
Lest there be an offense, but provision shall be made for me of the things that I have brought.
You see that? So that's thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Bible.
Right, and when you at work, man, you're going to have your coat. Hey, I got some pizza. I ordered some pizza, got the pepperoni, got the meat lover on that thing, man. Got bacon, ham. You got to say, I don't want that, man. I'm good, man. I go get my own food.
That's right.
Right? And then you can kind of cut them. You can kind of go into Leviticus 11. But you got to use wisdom, man.
That's right.
Right? But the point is, man, if anybody trying to offer you unclean things, you got to say,
That's right.
Yeah. Got it.
Kind.
See
All
that?
praises to
I got
y'all.
a closing
I
precept.
got a quick point too. I was at work the other day, and they brought in Hungry Howie's, and that, they made a spectacle out of it. It was like, yeah, food, pizza, and they always bring out either ham as a topping or pepperoni.
Yep.
Those are the only two toppings that Esau know. Like, you got more options. You got spinach, you got barbecue, you got chicken. Esau hate chicken, man. It's always pepperoni or damn ham. So, they tried to entice you. Just take a little slice. Just pick off.
Show you on one now?
Yeah, pick off the
Trying to make
bacon.
you a plate.
Yeah, just
They
pick
trying
around
to
it.
they try to make you a plate, try to give it to you, man.
Kind.
That pick around the spirit.
Yeah,
A little.
just take it off. Or just take it off.
If 3 flies was on your food, you gonna pick around it. You're not gonna eat the meal.
Con.
So I
That's all
had
I had to
a
say.
closing precept I wanted to bring out. Right, get Genesis 8, verse 20. Right, get Genesis 8, verse 20.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 8 and verse 20. And Noah builded an altar unto the Lord.
Right.
And took of every clean beast.
And did what?
Took of every clean beast.
Right, this is Noah, man. Right, this is from the days of old. From the beginning, let's see how our forefathers got down, right?
And of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar.
Right, you see that? Shema Mashiach Yahushua.
Shema Mashiach Yahushua.
Kom Yashala.
Kom Yashala.
Kom Yashala.
Kom Yashala.
Kom Yashala.
Kom Yashala.